Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Charlie Pankey here, Sierra Rec Now Podcast. Thank you for joining us again this week. We hope the Sierra is within your sights or in your future. We have snow the last couple of weeks here in the Sierra as we start to head into our busy snow season. I know a lot of people are heading to the mountains or looking for different plans. The other thing I do this time of year is I start making plans for my spring travel and my summer travel. So I hope that you're getting those plans for the summer as well, ready to go. We are super excited today. We have a really unique show for today. If you're into conservation efforts, into the Feather River area of Northern California, which is just a beautiful area to recreate and explore in, you're going to want to stick around the show today because we got to meet some ladies in a group a couple weeks ago up in the Feather River Basin on a new conservation effort that's launching. I have Cory and Sophia here today with me who are going to be sharing some of their efforts that we're doing in the Feather River Basin and some of the land trust that's going on up in that region. And we're excited to talk to them about not only the future of the Feather River area, some of the conservation efforts going on, but how you can enjoy it as a visitor to the region. So, Sophia, Cory, thank you for joining us today. How are you doing?
Good. Thanks for having us, Charlie.
Absolutely. Now, you guys are with the Feather River Land Trust organization. I was wondering if we could start today, if you could just kind of give us a little bit of a brief overview of who the organization is and what your mission is in the Northern California region of Feather River.
Sure. Yeah, the Feather River Land Trust is a locally formed nonprofit. We're a conservation organization based in Plumas County, but we are focused on conserving ecologically important landscapes throughout the Feather River watershed. So the watershed is the largest watershed in the Sierra Nevada, about 2.3 million acres. It comprises the entirety of Plumas County and portions of Lassen and Sierra counties, actually touches down into Butte County.
Mm-hmm.
We're focused on the upper Feather River watershed. But our mission is really threefold. We protect important landscapes, we steward those landscapes and ensure that the conservation values for which they're protected are upheld, and we connect people to land. And so we create opportunities for people to learn more about the ecology, the history, the culture of these landscapes, and deepen their own personal relationship with nature. Get out and explore, appreciate the beauty and diversity of this region, and really have opportunities to learn about what we can all do to help conserve these places that are so remarkable and that provide benefits to all of us.
That's fantastic. I've run into your organization a couple times over the years working with Plumas County up there. Sophia, I know that you work on social media. You guys had this event in December. I think it was December. Was it November? That you guys are launching the grand opening of the Sierra Valley Conservancy there right out of Portola. And I got really excited because I've been in Sierra Valley many times. It's beautiful up there. But I had no idea that you guys were building this new welcome kind of center up there with trails and opportunity to see the wildlife and experience the area. Can you guys maybe share with the audience about this new center, what it's all about, and its mission?
Yeah, I can get started and then hand it to Cory because she's been definitely more involved in the details of it. But the Sierra Valley Preserve has been around for a few years now, but the Nature Center is really the big, thing that we are excited about, and that the opening was for in December. This is it's in Beckworth, which is about 5 minutes outside Portola, and
I think one thing too, Charlie, that's important to share about the Nature Center and Preserve is the Nature Center is this new amazing facility that we have, but it's part of the Sierra Valley Preserve, which is a 2,500 acre nature preserve located in Beckworth, California. And it's at the headwaters of the Middle Fork Feather River. And it's a project that's been in the making for about 20 plus years. It's a partnership project between the Feather River Land Trust, the Nature Conservancy, and the Northern Sierra Partnership. And these partners have worked together for over 2 decades to conserve the land of Sierra Valley Preserve and work to create amenities and facilities to allow people to really experience it.
It's a gorgeous facility, by the way. It really is a gorgeous facility you guys built. So.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. We hope that people will come and check it out. The thing that's really unique about, a lot of people don't know what Sierra Valley is or where it is. And so it's one of the reasons that we've been working so hard to create more access there is that, Sierra Valley is the largest mountain valley in California, relatively unknown, but really strategic in terms of its location. It's where 3 ecoregions converge. So it's sort of at the, southern end of the Cascades. To the east, you have the Great Basin Range, and to the south and west, the Sierra Nevada. And the convergence of these ecoregions creates a really unique place biologically. It's a hot spot for plant and animal biodiversity. And it's a huge valley.
It used to be a lake, right? I mean, they talk about it used to be like the size of, little Lake Tahoe size of a lake that, historically is gone now. But I mean, it's a massive valley. It really is.
Yeah. It's an ancient lake, about 120,000 acres. It's about the same size as the surface area of Lake Tahoe. And all the water of those surrounding ranges drains into Sierra Valley and north through Sierra Valley wetlands, also the largest wetlands in California, to form the headwaters of the Middle Fork Feather River. Again, it's home to just incredible biodiversity. Over 200 species of birds are found in Sierra Valley, the greatest diversity and abundance of birds in the Sierra Nevada. And so up until the partners came together to create this place, there was really nowhere in Sierra. The other thing to know about Sierra Valley, it's almost entirely privately owned. So, the valley floor is primarily in private ownership, mostly working ranches. And so the Land Trust has been working not just to create this preserve, but we've also been partnering with local landowners to protect private lands with conservation easements. And creating the preserve was really an opportunity to give people a chance to get out into the valley floor. You can drive around the valley and just see, amazing species, and it's just this beautiful landscape, but there was really nowhere to park, get out of your car, take a walk, and enjoy it. And so we created the preserve with a network of trails, picnic areas, wildlife viewing overlooks, and just beautiful places for people to get out and sit and enjoy the beauty of the valley. And we've also been working with really amazing interpretive planners to create beautifully illustrated signage to introduce visitors to the unique cultural history, the biodiversity, and the ecological importance of the valley.
That's one thing, Cory, not to interrupt you there, I'd just share with our readers real quick. The Sierra Valley, if you're traveling to the region, you're going up Highway 89 out of Truckee, for example, you'll run into Sierraville, and that's kind of where the valley starts at. It's right there, and then it's like 20 more miles almost to Highway 70, right, which is where Portola and Chilnook and those little communities are along that highway at the start of I said that wrong. Yeah, near Lake Davis. A lot of you fishermen know Lake Davis is a popular fishing destination in the region. Gray Eagle is about 20 minutes way down to the west. So that kind of gives you a geographic region. When I went there for the first time, I've driven around that valley many times. A lot of cyclists go there in the springtime. They cycle around the lake and stuff. There's hot springs in the area and stuff, but there really was no place to park, right? So when I drove up and for the grand opening, I was like, wow, this is so neat. And then to be able to walk out on this land that it has a little bit of a ranch feel to it. When you get out a little bit further, you're following some canals and some rough trail markers, you will. It really is quite awesome to be out with the birds in their natural habitat. They're nesting out there. They're flying around doing their eating. There's the access to the beginning of the river network or the canals out there. It's quite a unique experience to walk out in that type of wild environment, see coyotes, running around. Didn't see anything bigger than a coyote, but, pretty unique to be able to walk around and recreate in that area, right? So.
Yeah. And it's the largest wetlands in the Sierra Nevada, and the trails that we have are, in previously developed kind of edges around the valley, including one trail that's on an old levee.
That's what it was. It looked like a levee. That was the word I was looking for. Yeah.
Exactly, because it's a highly manipulated landscape. It's been in ranching for over 100 years, 150 years, and so it gives people a chance to kind of get to the edge of the wetlands there. And it's amazing for recreation, but also for people that are curious and learning about our history and the indigenous cultures of this region. The Sierra Valley is the ancestral and unceded homelands of the Washoe and Mountain Maidu people,
Mm-hmm.
and a really we've worked really closely with both Maidu and Mountain Maidu and Washoe people in creating the exhibits at the Nature
Mm-hmm.
Center. And so they have a beautiful storytelling there, right in the entrance to the Nature Center. And so
Then I saw on the trail you guys have some future exhibits they're going to be doing where they're going to be doing some on-site demonstrations or maybe a culture or whatever it is along that one the paved trail that you have right there from the visitor center.
Yeah, those are still under development. We have two cultural demonstration sites that are we're going to have signage and develop additional spaces there for Indigenous folks who want to host their own activities and their own cultural events there to use, and also for workshops and different types of activities for the public. One of the events that we're working on with one of our Maidu community members is like learning about the traditional acorn harvest. So
Fun.
in different seasons, learning about the harvest and storage and preparation of acorns, which is a primary food source for Mountain Maidu people.
Mm-hmm.
So the Nature Center it's really a gateway. It's really, this beautiful preserve. So people come, there's birding and hiking and, just coming out and exploring and learning. But the center is going to have a whole host of activities to really allow people to go a little bit deeper. So we plan to have, botany walks and bird walks, workshops, like I mentioned, astronomy nights, lots of opportunities for people who are curious, who want to learn more, to both come out and enjoy the beauty of the place, but also really, understand, go a little bit deeper and, learn more about the systems that we all depend on, that allow us to thrive in these areas.
When I first started Sierra Rec, I had no idea that the Feather River was the largest watershed in California, and I wonder how many people actually still know that. It's such a kind of hidden secret about the area, how important the water system is for California, period. But to know that those drainage systems all flow in that middle fork, and then the Feather River system itself throughout the mountains of Sierra is such a great recreational use and important use for the state of California. It's pretty cool. Up there. So,
about 27 million people get their water
exactly
from
right.
the Feather River watershed. Especially, in these times when we're thinking about water, especially throughout the season, the summer months, conserving these large wetlands is really important for storing water in the Sierra longer
National
in the season.
welcome to Jack. My cat wanted to say hi. Sorry about
that, Jack. Oh, hey, Jack.
It's his first visit to the podcast. Apologize.
Aw. But yeah, it's one of the most important reasons why we've conserved these landscapes is the critical water sources for.
The other thing I know about Sierra Valley, and sorry to interrupt you there. The other thing I know about Sierra Valley is you guys are part of I don't know if they call it the Pacific Fly Zone, but between, let's say, Lake Almanor and Mono Lake, there is part of this national fly zone of migratory birds. And you already said there's so many birds there. You guys are an important part of that link as they go through, Lake Almanor to the Sierra Valley to Carson Valley, where I live at. We have all the birds coming in right here for eagles and ags right now. Mono Lake's obviously well known for being this, hot spot for bird migration. You said you weren't really a biologist at all, but can you talk to you a little bit about that migration pattern and what guests might experience there by visiting Sierra Valley?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's a stop on the Pacific Flyway, which kind of runs north-south across the entire Americas, Canada down to Patagonia. And Sierra Valley is a really important stopover for a lot of migratory species. There's, a lot of species that breed and nest in Sierra Valley in the spring. And so you just get a wild diversity of birds. I mean, we've had groups out there where we've seen, thousands of white-faced ibis, breeding.
Wow.
in one corner of the valley.
Yeah.
Really important breeding ground for greater sandhill cranes. And you'll find species there that spend their winters in South America. Little
Mm-hmm.
tiny shorebirds like the Wilson's phalarope that you can see in Sierra Valley in the spring. And so, yeah, it's incredibly important bird habitat. And as part of some of the facilities that we're creating at our east entrance, we're finishing the final touches now on a wildlife viewing overlook
Oh, okay.
that should be open this spring. That's a really popular destination for birding, and it just gives people a chance to kind of get out a little bit closer to the wetlands in a manner that's less disruptive to the birds, both to protect them and their habitat, but also allow people the opportunity to view them more undisturbed. So it's beautiful landscape, really important for birding.
That's fantastic. You being part of the Carson Valley, we have the Eagles and Ags Festival every February to celebrate the eagles and the predators that come through town. But we have the geese here right now, and they're all flying through. And people they love coming with their cameras and taking the bus tours and seeing the shows and stuff. It's a very popular thing. So I can imagine with the diversity that you offer in that valley, it's going to be a hot spot for birders, probably across the nation actually, as it gets like I said, never knew that you had South African birds coming through and nesting. That's
South
pretty
American.
Cool. Yeah,
Not quite that far. But.
Yeah.
That would be a long flight.
That would be a long trip. You said Patagonia. That's right. Got it in my mind. I apologize. So,
No. Yeah.
No, that's pretty awesome. So, we've only got about 10 minutes left here. So I want to make sure, Cory, you're is the executive director of the Land Trust. What other projects, where can they find more about the trust at? What other projects are you working on this spring in 2025? That'd be kind of fun for, people to know about. I know some of this stuff's not open to public, but maybe you can share a little bit more about where you guys are heading and what's next on the agenda.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, the Land Trust has been around for 25 years, and we've helped to conserve over 100,000 acres in the Feather River watershed. A lot of that through conservation easements, where we've partnered with local landowners to conserve their land with easements. And that program continues. It's a big reason that Sierra Valley is what it is in terms of a beautiful, intact landscape. We've created this 2,500 acre preserve, but a lot of lands, over 11,000 acres in Sierra Valley, outside of the preserve are protected with conservation easements, working with local ranching families. And so that work continues both in Sierra Valley and throughout the Feather River watershed, just protecting some of these places that define, the landscapes, the rugged and beautiful landscapes of this region. So we're really focused on that. We have a climate resilient focused land protection strategy that we're continuing to move forward. And in terms of opportunities for people to enjoy the land, for the public to really kind of get out and experience it. We also have 4 other nature preserves that are located throughout the watershed. And one of them where we're doing some work this spring is Olson Barn Meadow. That's right outside Chester at the edge of Lake Almanor.
Beautiful.
And it's a beautiful historic barn on the property. The North Fork Feather River runs right behind the property with beautiful cottonwoods, drains right into Lake Almanor. And we've owned that property now for almost 10 years, and it has, opportunities for people to get out and walk and explore, but we're doing a similar project on a very mini scale, a much smaller scale there, but, creating some signage and interpretation and opportunities for folks to learn more, improving the trails a little bit, and just really hoping to kind of also be a boon to the community of Chester and that region. So just another new destination for people to check out.
I'll share a personal note. I took my wife there last year. We stayed at St. Bernard's Lodge for a couple of days, and we saw Lassen, which was awesome, and did some hiking. And visiting the Olson Barn was one of her favorites. Just a short little,
Right.
We're there for a half hour, walk out in that field, but just go inside the barn and see the old, architect in there and some of the things they did. She really thought that was pretty cool. So
Yeah,
pretty neat.
it's a gorgeous place, and it's like a cathedral. It's one of the largest historic barns of that size in the region. So it's really unique, and so that's something we're working on. And of course, just really launching the Nature Center and our events is one of the things we're most excited about. And so we really hope people will come out, check out the Nature Center, come to Sierra Valley. Check out our website. It's frlt.org. If you go to frlt.org /enews, ENEWS. You can sign up for events. You can learn more about opportunities to get involved, volunteer, ways you can support our work. So we really encourage people just to check it out and come visit.
Yeah, if you're listening and you're watching on YouTube, by chance, as this show is produced, I'll put the links down below. You can find their links. Check them out. It's got a great resource online there of information and some history of the land trust and where they're heading next. It's a great resource there. I want to spend a few moments real quick about just wildlife in the region. Talk about back to Sierra Valley a little bit. Feather River itself is. If someone's listening, they've been to Feather River, they've probably been going for years, because once you go there, you just never stop going. It's such a beautiful area. Recently, there's been reports of wolves now in the Sierra Valley. As they expand in California, we're all excited about the continued growth and habitat there. What other? I mean, you're not going to probably see wolves very often. Probably not going to see too many bears. But what kind of wildlife kind of uses the valley? I mean, can you kind of? It's probably a big list, but what kind of breadth of wildlife is in the region?
Yeah, I mean, of course, we talked about birds. I think that's, one of the greatest abundance of, species that you would see, the largest number of diversity in species of birds. Pronghorn, a really beautiful, unique species to kind of this part of Northern California, and the fastest land mammal in North America. So definitely lots of opportunities to see pronghorn. And species that are using the property, really important migratory region for mule deer, bear, coyote, wolves. And so, of course, we help, we're focused on protecting habitat for a lot of these species. And, we've partnered with California Department of Fish and Wildlife and trying to monitor, the growth and expansion of these species, both for understanding how they're, using the habitat and where they are and how they're, expanding into these areas, but also, looking at monitoring and how we can reduce, livestock conflict in cases like wolves. And, a lot of these wolves are collared and tracked, and that allows ranchers to know when they're present and how they might, adapt to their presence. So it's something that we're definitely mindful of. And it's just a lot of these large species are really coming back in a way in the last, decade or two, that is really unique in Sierra Valley. We're seeing elk.
Are you really? Wow.
Yeah. Elk returning, and even breeding in the valley. Yep. And, it's something that wasn't seen for many years. And there's a lot of research now showing that, that elk, demonstrating, elk's historic presence in the valley. So it's really exciting to see some of these larger mammals returning.
And that's why the wolves are coming down there too. They follow those elk herds all over the place. That makes a lot of sense, right? So,
right.
I guess the kind of last wonder I have for the reserve there is, you guys look into the future. If you guys get where it's going, are there expansion plans still in the valley that you talked about this pullover spot on the east side. The valley's so large. Do you have other future developments that you are working on? Or I know it's all rancher dependent kind of thing, but do you have a future vision of that?
Well, I should clarify too that the whole preserve's 2,500 acres, and there's 3 entrances. And you can go on our website. You can find the Sierra Valley Preserve and Nature Center. We've got maps on there. So there's the north entrance, which is where the Nature Center itself is, and there's a whole trail network there. You can actually connect along a long trail from the north entrance down to the west entrance, which is a whole another parking area trail network. We have a mountains viewing overlook being developed there. There's a historic ranch house, historic farmstead home there, the Bolson House. That's a unique site to see. And then at the east entrance, and we've owned the east entrance. It's known as the Madalena Ranch locally, but the Land Trust has owned that for over 20 years, and it's been a really popular spot for people to get out and walk, and particularly for birding and viewing wildflowers. But that's a spot where we're developing this wildlife overlook. So it's just an improvement on existing, access point.
Gotcha.
So that's the extent of the preserve as it's owned and managed by the Land Trust today. We don't have any plans at this point to expand the preserve itself throughout Sierra Valley.
Okay.
Again, we're focused on a lot of our work is more on conservation easements in the region, and so we'll continue to be expanding the programs and the outreach of those programs, including our K through 12 field trip program. So reaching out to schools throughout the region and inviting them to come and do field trips. So,
I love
and
that.
any school that's interested in coming to the preserve can reach out to us, and we have staff that can help facilitate, school trips. So we're really focused on expanding the programs, but not so much the footprint of the preserve.
I love that. And Sophia, you're probably a little bit on the education and social media side where you're putting things out for people to see, especially younger generation on that. This event that's coming up in May, can you kind of give us the dates and time on that? You guys, do you have those yet for people who can put on their calendar?
Yeah, the dates are May 2nd through 4th. We don't have registration up yet, but we're going to be sending out our save the date very soon. And again, Cory mentioned the frlt.org/enews, and that's the best way to stay up to date for all of our events and upcoming programming. And when registration goes live for that festival, you'll be the first to know. So
that's fantastic. Ladies, you wouldn't believe we're already up on our half-hour mark, and I always like to try to be conscious of that for not only your time, but our guest time as they're joining us on the show. I always end my show the same way. I have a quick announcement from our sponsors. I'm going to run here from the Carson Valley. My home base is their sponsor of our content. Plumas County is another one of my big sponsors, and I'll shout out to them real quick because they've been good to me for the years. So, and then I'd like to come back and ask you 3 questions. Okay, 3 personal questions about outdoor recreation, travel, your own little personal things. Really simple questions. You good for that?
Sounds good.
Very good. Let me run this for the Carson Valley real quick. If you don't know the Carson Valley, we're on the east side. I'm about a little over an hour from the Conservancy. From my house, as I go up through Reno, head out of Reno up on 70, and I can be there pretty quick. So just kind of our wide open spaces are very similar. But let me run this for you guys real quick. Oh, and I hit pause. See, this is where I always do. Technology is not my friend some days. All right, let me try that again one more time. There we go. And I will do a real quick shout out here. It is Eagles and Ags month, and we start February. We're going to be doing our birding, special here event in our town. I'm sure our birds probably share some common grounds throughout the year as they're flying through both zones. So if you like the wild birds, Carson Valley and the Sierra Valley are 2 very great places. So, all right, ladies, these are not hard questions. These are fun questions for our audience just to know a little bit about yourself. So here's what I want you to envision. Behind you, your bag is packed. You're heading for a quick weekend away from the preserve to play in the mountains. Where are you going and why? And I'll let both of you answer that real quick.
Oh, God.
Do you have a favorite place you like to go?
So my partner and I, we've talked about hiking the PCT through Lassen National Park. So that would be, pretty close to me where I am. And so that would be a very easy, quick trip to go to. If it was a longer trip, I'd have to do some more thinking, but that would probably be the easiest one to go for.
I like that. How about you, Cory?
I'm going to say, you said my bag's packed, so now I'm thinking I'm going backpacking.
You can do that.
I'm probably going to say the Caribou Wilderness.
That was my backup.
Up in,
I like that.
But I don't want to tell too many people about it.
Don't tell too. I understand that. So, yeah, unfortunately, Caribou got a little bit burnt with the Dixie Fire, but there is some beautiful areas on the east side of that area still. They're pretty nice. And I went hiking up in there last year to a lake, and I really had a good time. I actually saw one of the best views of Lassen Peak that I've ever seen in the region. I got up above the burn scar a little bit. I was like, wow, look at that view. It was pretty cool to see from that ridge over there. So nice choice. Bucks Lake Wilderness would be another one of my spots. I love going up there and hang out in the wilderness up in your region too. All right, so I'm a big foodie. When I go out backpacking or on big adventures, I'm always stopping for a cheeseburger or milkshake someplace. It's kind of my gig. Let's say you're going travel and you're outdoors. Maybe you're at the Conservancy all day and you need something to eat afterwards, what's the go-to meal or snack that you're going to right after a day out in the adventure?
I'm going to go to Rico's in Portola and get some delicious tacos.
There you
right?
go.
5 minutes from the preserve. Great food. Lovely people. That's
love
my
it.
spot.
Again, no sponsors here. Rico's is just a good place to get tacos. I like it. So
great spot.
I don't go down that way that often, but I have to say, just a burrito of any kind is usually my go-to after like a hike.
I like it. I like it. Hey, I will shout out the little burger stand there. Is in Chilcot. Is that how you say that town? That little Chilcoot. That little frosty freeze in the summertime there. You coming out of Frenchman's Lake. That's a great place to stop for a burger. It's one of my favorite cheeseburger spots in the region. So, and finally, this may be a little odd for you guys, but you are a backpacker. It looks like, Cory. So everybody has a piece of gear that when they go out on an adventure, whether you're going birding, matter of fact, I have a piece of gear suggestion for the preserve there, but a piece of gear you don't like leaving home without. Maybe it's a pocket knife or a hat or sunscreen or whatever that piece of gear is. I take a map. Like I always have a map with me. I'm a paper map guy. Do you guys have a favorite piece of gear you like going out with?
I'd probably say my camera, but that's pretty
good
generic.
Choice.
Yeah.
I was going to just say, like headlamp. It's always good to have one with you.
Always good. I've been stuck out in the wilderness at night and forgot my headlamp and had to come off the trail at nighttime. That's not a bad experience. So I always carry the headlamp. I agree with you on that. So I will throw this out. If you're going to go see the preserve this spring and you're going to go see the birds, it's great. I highly recommend. It's a beautiful valley. It really is a great trip up from Truckee for the day or from Reno for the day. If you're going to come stay for the weekend, bring boots because although they have a wonderful built trail right out of the thing, only goes a short distance, and you're going to want to hike further, and it gets a little muddy out there. So bring some boots. It's a good idea to bring, and bring some water. Because you're out in nature, and there's not a lot of trees on the preserve, so you're out in the field. So as the summer gets hotter and spring gets hotter, the sun will be out there. So boots and water would be my idea, and the camera, because you'll never see what you find in the camera. I missed my video camera. I missed the opportunity of filming the hawks. Coming down, it was like, I should have brought my video camera.
You'll just have to come back in May.
I'm absolutely going to put that on my calendar. That sounds like a great opportunity. So, ladies, thank you so much for joining us today. It was great to learn more about the Feather River Land Trust and some of the things you're doing there to conserve and protect the area. The headwaters of the Feather River is a really pretty special place in California that more people probably need to know about. And just to come experience themselves. So have a wonderful day where you're at. If you're joining us on Sierra Rec Now podcast or on YouTube, thank you for joining us today. Join us next week for another great show. You can find us online at sierrarecmagazine.com. Our January issue just launched. Our March issue is coming up here. We'll be talking about spring trails and different things. Probably talk about little things up in Portola area in the Feather River. So, please join us, like, subscribe, share with your friends, and check out these links down below for the events and things coming up at the Conservancy there. The Land Trust are handling. I think it'd be a great opportunity for you. Wherever you're at, hope to see you in your future. Have a great day. Be safe, and hope your next trip's your best. Good day.